What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Duke. I coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, I'm gonna talk about my two quarterbacks, man. Carson Wentz and Jambalaya Joe Burrow have both put out statements regarding the unfortunate passing, what I call flat out murder of George Floyd. You know, those guys didn't have to say that, man. But I'm gonna give my thought. I'm gonna read their quotes. And I'm gonna give my thoughts on them and just my thoughts on the whole George Floyd situation, all in general. But before I get into this video, man, for everyone, if you wanna give me a follow on Instagram, send me a friend request on Facebook, even check me out on TikTok. I'm gonna have my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok information down in the description box. Come give me a follow on the gram. Come send me a request on the book. Come holler at your boy, yo. Anybody who follows me, man, and follow this channel, man, knows that I'm a big time LSU fan and also a big time Philadelphia Eagles fan, yo. And without further ado, man, it made me feel so good. It made my heart full to know that my two quarterbacks, I know Burrow is going to the NFL, to the Bengals, but to know that Jambalaya Joe, man, and Carson Wentz, from what I understand, were the first, white quarterbacks to come out and speak up on this incident, as far as, everyone needing to just pay attention and, look towards the black community and everything that we're enduring. First I'm gonna read Jambalaya Joe's statement, quote, "The black community needs our help. They have been unheard for too long. Open your ears, listen, speak. This isn't politics. This is human rights." I love that statement, man. And it's true, man. For so long, the black community has been unheard. Now, granted, it's getting better, but it's still not where it needs to be, yo. And for him to come out there and make that statement, he didn't have to do it. He's in the NFL now. He's a rookie quarterback. He was the #1 overall pick. He had every right to just ignore this and keep quiet and hush about this. But what I love about Jambalaya Joe and why I think the Cincinnati Bengals in the long run are going to be okay with him under center, not only the fact he's thrown 60 touchdowns, had 65 accounted for last season, won the Heisman Trophy, led LSU, my Tigers, to an undisputed national championship. But he's a leader, man. Even when you think about his Heisman speech, that was basically a night all about him, all about his accomplishments, and he took time to talk about the poverty that was going on, in Ohio, something that I was not aware of. And for him to come out and make that statement, a lot of people stepped up and was able to send foods and just things to help in that community. It goes to show you the type of leader he is, and he understands the platform that he has. And I'm extremely proud of him and thankful that he took the time to come out there and make this statement, yo. When a lot of times we're getting unheard, yo, he didn't have to make that statement. But as an LSU fan, a LSU Tiger fan, who's appreciative of the accomplishments he had on the field, I am extremely thankful, that he came out there and made that statement, yo. And my other quarterback, for the Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz, he also came out and made a statement regarding the George Floyd incident. Another quarterback who didn't have to say anything, could have kept quiet and just kept it moving, but he felt that he had to come out and speak up, on the whole situation. And I think it was just a beautiful job by him, yo. And this is here what he had to say, quote, "Been thinking about the George Floyd situation and thinking of words to say and coming up empty. All I know is that the institutional racism in this country breaks my heart and needs to stop. Can't even fathom what the black community has to endure on a daily basis. Being from North Dakota, I've spent a large part of my life surrounded by people of similar color, so I'm never going to act like I know what the black community goes through or even has gone through already. I'll never know the feeling of having to worry about my kids going outside because of their skin color. However, I do know that we are all equal at the foot of the cross, and Jesus taught us as to value others' lives like they were our own, regardless of skin tone. So this might seem like a ramble, and perhaps it it is. I don't understand the society we live in that doesn't value all human life. It's heartbreaking and disturbing. My prayers go out to every man, woman, and child that has to endure the effects of the racism in our society. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. And I don't want to go without mentioning also Zach Ertz also had a really nice statement also, to support the black community, man. And I'm proud, man. I love the fact that Jambalaya Joe Burrow and Carson Wentz took the time to acknowledge and hear us out and, be open-minded enough to understand the things that, us in the black community are dealing with. Shout out to them for that, man. By them being white, they didn't have to do that. But for all of this racism and just madness to stop, we need, the white community to come in with us, join us, and come together and help us, put an end to this stuff. What happened to George Floyd, man, was unacceptable. It was completely unacceptable. It was uncalled for. This man was detained. This man seemed like he was complying. I don't understand the level of force that these officers, used to basically end this man's life, over something as simple as a check. Now, granted, did he deserve to get arrested for it? Yeah. But to go to that extent where it looks like your motivation is to harm this man, is to kill this man, and for you to not pick up your knee until the paramedics had to flip him over to put him on the stretcher was just absolutely unnecessary, man. And the problem is with that is it's a lot. Now, granted, it's a lot of white folks out there that are stepping up, that are hearing us out, that is, that has real concerns about this situation. And God bless y'all, yo. And for everyone else, we need y'all to hear us, man. Like, not all us black folks are criminals. Not us all black folks are sitting here wanting pity and wanting to be felt sorry for. And, as far as the riots and the looting, I don't agree with it as a black man. But at the same time, what else could we do? I mean, we protested back in the day peacefully, and we got sprayed with water hoses. We got attacked by dogs, and we got beaten up. Martin Luther King led very, very peaceful protesters. Now, granted, his message, came through as far as things have gotten segregated, but he got assassinated behind that. Then you think about Colin Kaepernick, who was out there taking a gentle knee, during the national anthem just for the conversation to be had. Because he knows that would draw a lot of attention. And the conversation turned into he's disrespecting the flag when he clearly came out there and stated that his intentions are not to disrespect the military. But yet that's how it was perceived. And I get it. A lot of people that don't have to deal with certain situations, kind of, look the other way. But what I'm saying is, man, for this to be a better world, we all got to stick together, man, and we need help. Like I said, I don't condone the rioting. I don't condone the looting. But at the same time, what else do we have to do to be heard, yo? So we need to have this conversation. Stop focusing so much on the rioting and looting. Understand, we're hurting as a people. We're hurting as a community. And we need help, from the white community. Real quick story about myself, man. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't dealt with a whole lot of run-ins with the police. I've had a pretty clean record for basically my whole life. But I did have an incident when I was 20 years old, man. On my 20th birthday, my dad got me a rental car. And it was me and a couple of my friends. We was young, young African-American males. Back then, grills was the thing. So all three of us had a grill in our mouth. So we was going to grab us something to eat. And there was a checkpoint. And, the cops basically looked like they was just asking people for their license and all this other stuff. But everybody was able to go. We get up there, he asked me for my license, registration, and everything. I show it. So all of a sudden, he just told me to pull into an empty parking lot. So I pulled in there, me and my friends. While we're there, it's three white cops, and there were two other ones still going along with the checkpoint. This cop, man, asked me, why am I in is this my car? I said, no, officer, this is a rental car. And he was like, why do you have a rental car? And I said, well, my dad got me this car, to celebrate my 20th birthday. So these cops, man, these officers literally searched the whole car, man. They took the seats out the car. They checked the trunk. They checked the glove compartment. They checked everything. And honestly, I felt like we got institutionalized. All the other cars passed. They didn't stop and pull anyone over. But because at the time we were three young black men who, because we got grills, I guess, and we in a rental car, apparently they had the perceived assumption that we had drugs in the car or something like that. Well, they searched the whole car. They didn't find anything. And the cop told me, okay, wasted about 30 something to 40 something minutes of my time. Not only that, you have people passing, looking at us. So we had to deal with the court of public opinion, assuming like, oh, look, these guys got busted. And they just let us go and walked away like it was nothing. I was aggravated at the time. I was angry, but I didn't tell my dad or nobody anything about it till weeks later, which was kind of late at that point. But me being a young 20-year-old man, I didn't know much about the law. I didn't know that they didn't really have the rights to do that without a warrant or any vision that I had anything. So I know how I felt that night, and I know how a lot of African Americans feel out there that get mistreated by police. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of great cops out there. It is great. The police force is only a minuscule, portion of police officers that do this act. Most of the law enforcement are amazing. They're there, they protect and they serve. They really try to help the community. And I'm talking about white cops, black cops, Asian, whatever race. There's a lot of great, white cops out there. But the small percentage that does what they do, they need to get dealt with, man, because at the end of the day, they're in a position of power and they're abusing their power to take advantage of people and harm people because at the end of the day, they feel like there is no real severe consequences behind their actions. You know what I'm saying? You see, if these people get caught looting and they're caught by the police, they're getting arrested. These cops that go out there and murder unarmed, not just black men, but people in general, and they get off on that, is sickening. And something needs to be done about that. And I'm glad that Carson Wentz and Jambalaya Joe Burrow came up and they spoke about it, yo. It's something that we've been suffering and dealing with as people for a very, very long time. And it needs to end, man. And for it to end, we need people in the white community to come along, like guys like Carson Wentz, guys like Jambalaya Joe Burrow, to speak up and to do something about it. And there's people that are, but we need more, yo. We all not criminals. We all not out here to harm people. We are also, just like you are, we also are very smart, intelligent, cerebral, well-spoken individuals. We're more than just athletes, yo. And people talking on YouTube about athletes. We have a lot to offer to society and to this world also. And we can't sit there and look at the small percentage of criminals because there's criminals in every race. Every race, kills each other. Every race commits crimes. I'm not going to, sit there and act like, there's not, that everything is all right, because it's not. It's sickening. What I seen happen to George Floyd brought tears to my eyes, man. And it's something that man screaming for his mom, that he didn't deserve to go out like that. He didn't deserve what happened to him. And unfortunately, I've read posters, I've seen people try to defend that act. Like they say, all blacks kill blacks all the time. Well, guess what? If a black kill a black and it's caught on camera, he's going to jail for murder. Then it's like, oh, well, he was a thug. I mean, the guy is complying with the police, handcuffed, detained. I mean, I don't get why some people just could sit here and not like somebody because they look a certain way. I just never understood that, but yeah, man, we need more folks in the white community to help join us, and hopefully we could. Granted, at least whenever we have situations like this happen, these cops will get what they deserve. They'll get arrested, just like all of us in society. When we do something that we have no business doing and we get caught doing it, you know what? We gotta pay the price for it. So we just want the same treatment for these cops, man. Not just doing it to the black community, but when they do it to the white community, when they do it to the Asians, the Mexicans, whatever race. But the problem with us, knowing the history of this country, knowing what we endured for all these years with slavery and all that, you got to understand that this is a sensitive spot for us, that every time we see things like that, it reminds us of the things that our ancestors and everybody had to go through. So understand that, for black folks to see this, we're very heartbroken behind it. It's bad when it happens to anybody. But for us, we feel like, we've seen whites do this to blacks for a very, very, very long time, man. So please join us and help us put an end to this, man. But shout out to my boy Jambalaya Joe Burrow, my quarterback, man, Carson Wentz. Thank them for everything that they've done. And I'm just so glad, man. I'm just so glad, man, that they decided to speak up. I know this is a Dawkins jersey, man, but it's an Eagles jersey. So shout out to my boy Wentz, man. Shout out to everyone that feels that justice should be served, just not just for the police, but in all walks of life, man. But for the police, because you have the power, you have the authority. If I'm harming someone, somebody could call the cops on me. But when the cops are harming people, who can we call? You know what I'm saying? Who can we call? So yeah, man. Everybody, man, just pray. Let's stay together, man. Let's get through this thing together, man. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Thank you so much, Jambalaya Joe Burrow. Thank you so much, Carson Wentz. Thank you so much for all the people out there of different ethnicities besides African American that are speaking up and that does want to change. Thank you all so much. And thank y'all for checking out this video, yo. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, hit the like button for your boy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. I'm going to have LSU, Philadelphia Eagles, and all type of sporting content throughout the year. Also, this coming Tuesday, man, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to do a live Q&A. Y'all come on there, ask me anything. Tell me anything. I'll answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live, yo. Y'all should join me. It'll be some good stuff, man. Until then, y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go, Tigers.